Aloha kako, my name is James Hustace and I serve as your Hawaii County Council Member for District 9 representing the communities of North and South Kohala. Just want to provide a few new updates since our last chat. Last week had a number of fun-filled community events and activities, so it was great to be out amongst the community, talking to you, hearing your stories. Last week Wednesday was King Kamehameha Day, so it was an honor to be up in Kapa'au watching the parade and the community come out for that celebration of culture and history and heritage of the Kohala community. So fabulous job and great to see everyone out there celebrating that day. And then it was also a nice opportunity to attend the Youth Challenge of the Hawaii National Guard graduation in Hilo. Congratulations to those graduates there for that academy. I look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future. And then this past weekend was the Waikoloa Music and Culture Festival, the first annual event, and I want to mahalo the organizers, the musicians, and everyone that put on the event to bring the community together and really celebrate culture and music in our communities here and right down at the Waikoloa Bowl. So what a fantastic event. And beyond those community events and engagement to see community, engage with community, also had some good discussions around our infrastructure needs and kind of ongoing conversations about our roads and wastewater challenges. And then really had a nice meeting at the end of the week last week regarding housing and homelessness issues and the work we need to do at the council level to support the community at large. This week committee is on, council and committee meetings this week. So we'll be in Kona tomorrow, June 17th and the 18th for our council meetings. Some things to keep in mind that'll be on the agenda. We're having some ongoing conversations about reviewing the PONC process. So conversation about formation of an ad hoc committee with council members to really review the PONC efforts and the work there. There'll also be some discussion about possible charter amendments relating to requirements for the Department of Public Works Director. And then the bill on zoning regulations for meeting facilities. And a number of nominations for board and commissions opportunities there. And then we'll have our final reading on Bill 24, which is the telecommunication tower bill, really establishing those procedures, identifying a plan approval application for future telecommunication towers, and then within that bill are setback requirements from residents and schools. And then on the council agenda, got a number of contingency fund grants for District 9. There's monies for tree removal, both at Spencer Beach Park, as well as Kamehameha Park, and then improvements to the tennis courts there up at Kamehameha Park. We also have funds going towards the Kohala Resilience Hub and their Keiki Summer Camp, and then as well as to cover some expenses for the Kohala graduation night, and then moving some funds forward for literacy programs with the Friends of the Library Waikoloa region, and then also some support for Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization and their outreach into community with Fireaside, and really a means to assess defensible spaces in our communities and our personal properties, and an opportunity through that application, that lens, to provide grants for homeowners as they look for ways to improve and harden their homes. And if you've been following the budget, we're kind of at the tail end of the budget here, just waiting for the mayor's approval on the budget, past all the work that council has done over the past few months. So that's kind of where that sits right now. And as always, I encourage you to submit testimony on items that come before council. You're welcome to use the email address counciltestimony@hawaiicounty.gov. Remember that your written testimony is due at 12 noon on the business day prior to that meeting. Otherwise, you may provide oral testimony either in person at the council chambers or at one of our remote sites. And then you can even request an option to attend virtually by sending an email to councilremotetestimony@hawaiicounty.gov. I always value your voice and your input, so thank you for taking the time to submit testimony on any items that come before council. In terms of upcoming community events, just a few road paving things that are going on in the district just to pay attention to. Still some ongoing paving and restriping efforts at the Lindsay Road intersection to Lalamilo Farm Road. And so that's milepost 0 to 1. Some final touches there with the striping efforts. And then out towards on the east side of Waimea, Mud Lane, there's some shoulder maintenance and road maintenance happening there. Further out on Mamaloho Highway by the Daniel K. Inouye intersection, some ongoing paving and striping efforts there. Up on Kohala Mountain Road, we've got some tree trimming and shoulder work. And then further up towards Kinnersley Road and North Kohala, some shoulder maintenance and road maintenance there. This Tuesday, tomorrow, there is a blood drive with Blood Bank Hawaii at the Hawaii Prep Academy Upper Campus. This is by appointment only, so look for a lot of those posts out there to register. Also tomorrow, up in Hawaii at the Kohala Coffee Mill, there's Coffee with a Cup between 9 and 11. So an opportunity to connect with our police officers, share your thoughts, learn about the work that they do in the community. They're also participating and taking the lead on the Kohala Keiki Fishing Derby. So this Thursday is the deadline to register for that. The event itself is on Saturday, June 28th, but Thursday, June 19th is a deadline to register. That event will be held at Puaka'ilima Surf Park on that Saturday of June 28th from 8 to 1. So look for those information to register for that. Thursday is Juneteenth, so expect some offices to be quiet and closed down for a little bit during that day. And then also Thursday is Coffee with a Cup in Waikoloa Village at the Kohala Coffee Company from 7 to 10 in the morning. And then on Friday, the Waikoloa Dry Forest Initiative, they're kind of have kickstarted and restarted their biocultural talk series. And they're looking at a lot of the biocultural, the plants and activity within their forest preserve. So this Friday, June 20th, will be one of their talk stories from 5:30 to 6:30. And then looking ahead a little bit at next week, North Hawaii Hospice is holding their golf fundraiser next week, Wednesday, the 25th. That'll be at Monolani, but they're also looking for volunteers. So I encourage you to reach out to North Hawaii Hospice to support their efforts and all that they provide for the community. Also next week, and you've probably seen some press releases out there and in the news about a community conversation with myself and Hawaiian Electric and a number of community groups and county departments. Next week, Thursday, we're holding a community resilience fair in Waikoloa Village at the Waikoloa School Cafeteria. And there'll be more information we'll be pushing out from this office, but you've probably seen some things pushed out by Hawaiian Electric and also on the news there. So that event is held from 4 to 7 p.m., really talking about community resilience, opportunities to learn about what our county's doing, our private organizations, as well as nonprofit organizations that are working alongside a lot of our government agencies to support communities, support homeowners, and all the work that's being done in our communities to prepare for emergencies, wildfires, especially in District 9, and really overall emergency preparedness in our communities. So once again, that's next week, Thursday, at the Waikoloa School Cafeteria, June 26, 4 to 7. Opportunity to talk to a lot of community engagement, as well as organizations, and talk story. There'll be a panel as well, a panel discussion. So a good opportunity to learn about what's going on in our communities. So thanks for taking the time to join us next week, Thursday. I'm honored to serve as your council member, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. You're welcome to email me at james.hustace@hawaiicounty.gov, or you can call our Waimea office at 808-887-6077. And with that, I want to wish you good health, be well, aloha.